Hi, I'm Katie with Joyful Forklift, and this is Carrie and Jason. Jason and Carrie, I'm so happy to be here with you today. I'm here because I interviewed your mom, Luann. Love her. I do too. And I asked her, where do you feel joy when you walk into the space? Like, is there a place in your life where you feel joy? And the first thing she said to me was my daughter Carrie's house. Oh, that's what she said. That's so captured it on video.
Love that proof. Yes.
Okay. So I said, well, shoot, can I talk to her, please? And so I'm just so grateful that you two welcomed me and Mike into your home and are open to this and sharing how you did it, like why your mother feels this way. Yeah. And because I think that's one of the most beautiful answers
I know.
I've heard.
I love that. Oh.
Yeah, that's a testament to what you've cultivated. So I'm going to ask you a question that I ask a lot of people, and, you know, stories are good or whatever feels comfortable to you. But the question is, when in your life have you felt super grateful to be who you are?
Gosh, that is a good question, because there's so many. I think there's a few times. And I'll just say the first thing that came to my mind was at my dad's funeral. We did a celebration of life. And, weird, I'm going to cry. And so Jason did the service and in my dad's shop, in Becky's shop. And afterwards we opened it up, an open mic for anybody that wanted to say anything. And I wanted to be the first person to talk, because my dad was one of my favorite people on the planet also. And I just remember thinking that, like, I am so grateful for who I am, that I am Jim Rock's daughter, that I'm here today because of everything that happened to me, because he was my dad. And so that probably is the most pronounced moment I can think of when you ask that question.
That's beautiful.
That is a tough question.
It is a tough question.
But it's a good one. Can you ask it one more time?
You got it. Like, as you think about your life, are there moments where you might have had an awareness, like, my God, I am so glad I am living this life as Jason?
Yeah, I would say probably several times. But that's a journey. I think that answer is in a journey for me. The original, as we mature into, I would say, what's called the age of accountability, and I became present of who I was, and that was probably late high school years or early college years. I was thankful. I mean, it was easy for me to look around and be thankful that, I'd been given gifts that I didn't deserve. The ability to communicate with people, and really fostering a relationship with Carrie early on in my college career. That was a super big moment in my life for, like, whoa, this could be the rest of my life. And that was an exciting time. And then I think kids. I think once we had kids really...
Although kids put a lot of question marks in who you are.
No, but they totally define who you are.
They totally define who you are,
You have a responsibility that has to be, it has to be met.
Yeah.
And that responsibility was heavy
real.
For me. Yeah. I mean, I knew not only would I had to be a provider and a good husband, but I had to work on being a good dad. And I think that probably is one of the biggest defining moments. Young life, marriage, and kids, I would say.
Yeah. I love how you call the age of accountability late teens, early 20s. I'm like, what did you get right? That is
I know.
true.
That's
amazing.
Always been an amazing person that way.
Well, that's a powerful age to know who you are. Like, I know personally, I can't say that about myself. I woke up later than that time. How did you
I think probably the answer comes from, I always share with my kids, the best thing my parents did for me was being poor. We grew up in a trailer, and I remember being conscious about that. Like, I wanted to be something, which was a horrible way to be driven, but that really drove me. Like, I on an early age decided I wanted to be in the medical field. So, I mean, it stuck with me. And I mean, I was very Very driven.
To get out of poverty?
No. I mean, the poverty wasn't bad. My parents, they just worked hard, and we were paycheck to paycheck. They were great parents, and they provided a great living. But I remember thinking I wanted more.
Yeah.
And I'm sad that that was the driving factor, but it did. I think that's probably what that accountability set on me early. Like I've got to work hard. I mean, I'm not going to be able to fall back on my parents' paycheck when I hit college, right? They're not going to be able to, I paid for college. We had to do all of that. My brother and I, but that was the best thing that probably ever happened because it really gave us that sense of responsibility. So
that's so.
I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, it does. That's so powerful that you were able to see. Like I got to rely on.
I got to do
your
this.
gifts, your mind to find your path.
Yeah. You got to do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So I'm wondering, like, as we sort of get into our conversation here, how would you define joy for yourself? And if you want, how would you discriminate between joy and happiness?
You want me to go first? He's more of a talker than I am, so he'll fill in the
I'm
gaps.
surprised, honestly.
He looks so quiet, doesn't he? No, I think happiness and joy, worlds apart. And I think I finally realized what joy was probably when we lost Cassidy. She was our first daughter. And
How old were you?
I was 25, 26, and she was
we that
almost
old?
a year old. Yeah, I think so.
90.
She was almost a year old.
A year old.
Yeah. And when we lost her, I had just become a Christian, right? I mean, faith is what saved me, honestly. And God was so good. When I was pregnant, we found an amazing church. People surrounded us. We didn't know what we were headed for. And before that, I would have said that would have killed me, and it almost did. But then you realize it's the scripture, what is it? Pain endures for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. And I don't think I hit happy for at least a year, but I found moments of joy in that year.
Wow.
And so happiness for me, it's, you get happy when you see a puppy licking something, right? Not his butt.
That's weird.
I know.
Edit
But you know what I'm saying. Yeah, edit that. Please don't.
Definitely not editing that.
Rewind. I didn't cut.
That's true.
I could resonate with that.
But joy is something that's so deep, and for me, it's from the Lord. It really is. It's something so deep because it's more than what I am. And we've always said, if you can't touch the hurt, like get in there, touch the hurt. Once you do that, you experience a joy that maybe some people never do because they don't touch the hurt. And if you can touch the hurt, as dirty and messy and hard as it is, you get this like open door that you didn't know was there, and it's joy among the nasty, right?
Oh yeah.
And so happy it's kind of a non-word for me, honestly. Like, are you happy? Great. But joy is the real deal. Yeah. Joy is the real deal. Like that permeates every fiber of your being when you can finally feel that joy. Yeah. And losing a child, we've lost two actually, but losing that first child, it took me a long time. And I remember Jason asked me one time, we had moved up here because my dad and Becky were here, and we couldn't have kids for some reason. And I'm, there's a lot of reasons. I don't know. We don't know what they were, but he finally asked me one day, hey, are you going to be okay if it's just you and I the rest of our life? And I had to sit back on my heels, and I thought, oh my gosh. And it did take me a few days to answer. But I think that was finding some joy in who we were, right, as a couple.
Contentment, yeah.
Contentment, yeah. And so maybe joy has a few little side dingles on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
what you just said, I don't know. When you hear somebody talking and you're like, oh my gosh, like I have so much resonance with what you're saying. It's like, my therapist told me when my mom was dying of Alzheimer's. So go into the room that's filled with, she didn't use this word, but poop, and dig in it, feel everything. Do not turn away from this. Yeah. And you will find gems, the most precious gems. And if you're brave, you can search for them in this.
That is being brave,
which
isn't
you
it?
Totally said. And I'm curious, that really hits me personally. And I'm wondering, were you seeking joy, or were you just like
No.
feeling into this loss, this grief?
I don't think I was seeking joy. I don't think I had enough knowledge to even do that. Would you agree with that?
And I don't know that joy is
we were
knowledge.
just on the grief river,
Yeah.
which, has twists and turns. And yeah, my grandma, who had lost a lot, she'd lost 2 or 3 kids herself, and she was like my best friend. I loved her. And she always told me, when you lose someone, the hole in your heart never goes away. Your heart just grows around it.
Oh.
And I think that was part of it for me. Like when I heard that, I just hung on that like, oh, okay. It's okay. It's okay to have a hole in your heart. I'm sorry, I keep touching my microphone.
It's all good.
It's okay to have a hole in your heart. It's not going to go away.
It won't
Nana's
kill you.
learning this with my dad's loss. And you find the things that grow around it are more intense and more beautiful, even though it's a lot of poop, right? Like, and everybody says lean into grief, lean into it. That is so hard. It's so hard. But if you kind of realize like, okay, it's just another fiber of my being, and it doesn't have to define me. It just is part of me. And I think that helps me find joy.
Yeah. And you were so young.
Yeah. We didn't have a clue. We didn't, we just thought, you get married, you have kids, life is wonderful.
Yeah.
But changed our trajectory in life, changed us. Like we're totally different people now in an amazing, wonderful way. I'm so thankful. And we always say, if we could go back, would we change it? And as hard as it is to say that, no, we wouldn't, because we wouldn't have, we've had 10 kids over the years, and it's just been an amazing journey with lots of joy, lots of grief. But we got our waders on and we're digging in it.
No kidding. You're like in it. Yeah.
It's good.
Wow. And so I'm just curious, when did you get married? So you had
We got married, we were 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had some time to figure out
we were
who
in college
you were.
and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jason, what was that experience like for you?
I mean, answering the question, happy is I'm very blessed. Happy is a natural state of who I am.
Yeah, it really is.
So I just choose happy.
He always says, be the happiest person in the room. And usually he is.
But I agree with Carrie, like, who knew we were both carrying a recessive gene that culminated in this genetic, perfect little girl that was dying.
Don't do that.
Just bring them up. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So.
Gosh, the pain to face that.
Yeah.
Well, and 27 years later, the pain is still as real.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not as real, but it hits. It hits like you just got hit by a truck.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I choose happy, but I didn't learn joy until after that.
Yeah.
Because finding happiness amidst that loss is really hard. And but I agree with Carrie. I've from a very young age have had a measure of faith that I didn't deserve. I felt like God found me early in my life. I would even say like at 5 years old. So, going back to your previous question, like what has driven me, there was something in me that God had created a purpose for my life. I didn't know it was this journey, but it's really easy to look back and say, wow, what an incredible adventure we've had. And it has been. I mean, and we would not take that back because it shaped us into these people that we are. It shaped our marriage. I mean, I remember the first year after we lost Cassidy, I'm kind of a statistics guy, and I would challenge our marriage. I'm like, babe, 90% don't make it through losing their first child. Are we going to be different? Yeah. Like we've got to.
Yeah, it was an active choice.
We had to choose. Okay. And it's not because we didn't love each other deeply, but the pain that existed was so intense. It was very difficult to even be in the same room, because what do you talk about?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow, you guys. I'm so honored that you would share this.
But I think the hardest part was watching her.
Yeah. Yeah, because, a part of you dies when your children die.
Yeah.
And to decide that it was going to be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an active choice every day to get out of bed And I don't suffer from depression or anything. I'm really thankful, but I think I got pretty close. And I remember thinking, I'm on the fence and I can dangle over here. And if I fall, I'm not coming back. Yeah. Like it was that big. And we were so lucky to have wonderful family around us. And and our faith just exploded.
Yeah, I think that's what happened is God said, hey, I've got a lot more for you. And we're like, wow.
Yeah.
That
to let your life
to
be
great.
defined by one, not moment, but even one child, you know, that's not the full of it.
So what happened? So how did you hear that message that there's more and that more children would come into your life?
Well, I don't think we knew because, you know, I think that the backstory after Cassidy is, I think Carrie struggled with purpose without having kids. Yeah. And that's, you know, I think it was 3 years later. Mm-hmm. I mean, she was, you know, we were actively trying to have more kids, which was terrifying to the whole entire world because we had a 25% chance of repeating that.
Every time,
because every time. I mean, it's a recessive genetic disease. So we had everybody on pins and needles, literally. But we had a faith that we knew God had more for our lives.
It was interesting, wasn't it? It's that faith that surpasses all understanding that the Bible talks about. Like, we have lived that, and there's no explanation except it's just real.
It is real.
It's just real because we did it.
We did do it, yeah. And I think what was, you know, that day I challenged her, I had come to a point of saying, you know, maybe we have a different trajectory here and kids are not that trajectory. But I think it was, I didn't even know that I was challenging her in an active way to let go.
Let go, yeah.
And I think, I mean, literally, I mean, this is the coolest part of the story is a week later she was pregnant after she let go.
Yeah.
So,
really?
Yes.
Yeah, and I had had a miscarriage in between the two.
Oh my gosh.
But having a miscarriage after losing a child was not as traumatic as I had imagined it would be. It was still awful, but we knew, like, okay, that she wasn't meant for us. That one wasn't meant for us. And then, then we got pregnant with JC, our oldest now, and we breathed a huge sigh of relief when she came out screaming and healthy lungs, and then we did it 2 more times with healthy. And, you know, each one of those just builds your love joy tank, right? The joy just, we're overflowing.
Totally.
We're all cracked out on joy.
But I really do.
You want the t-shirt?
Bumper sticker. So how did you let go? Was it a choice or did you?
Yeah, no, it was totally a choice. Like, okay, I had Jason before. Like, it was Jason and Carrie before it was Jason, Carrie, and Cassidy. So this is the guy I signed up for, you know, with nothing. And we could do it with nothing. If it was just us, okay. I would be sad and I think it would have been difficult, but
I can't believe
I let go.
I couldn't fulfill you.
Seriously. Not enough.
Total resentment ensues.
No, but it's real. It's real, right? You get married, I think we had this picture of, you know, 2-3 kids, and God just laughed at us and said, no, this is not how this is going to work. And I think really where I found joy in all of it is understanding that God is sovereign, and you can't find joy unless you believe he's in charge.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely
so,
right.
you know, finding that God is in charge. I mean, that's really surrendering, saying, you know what? I didn't create this person. Through a miracle, we created this person together. But there's a life we believe that's formed at a much higher power. And it's really his. And so when we looked at Cassidy as a gift that we got to share with him and understand that it probably hurt him more to see her, you know, for us to lose, there was a joy in that for me that I could find real joy. Like, you know what? He's sovereign. We need to wake up and be thankful. And I think that's what we chose, is to just be thankful even amidst the storm. And really, I mean, it was easy for me. I look around and watch how people deal with loss, and they either become embittered and their lives are hard and tough, or they embrace it. And you see people that are like, and I'm not saying this in arrogance, you see people you want to hang out with because they've been there.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've overcome.
Jason always says, we don't muddle in the puddle, right? And there's lots of puddles that you could muddle in. And if you stay in there, you drowned. So don't muddle in the puddle. Like,
I mean, yes. Where's your book? I want to read. I'm serious. Like, this is such deep wisdom though, because you're right. I think there must be a choice point to allow that loss and pain to drag you into the puddle or to step out of it. And I'm curious, how did you learn to do that?
Was
it modeled to you? Like,
I think it was total faith. I mean, honestly.
Well, and I know after Cassidy died, of course, there's so many support groups, right, for what you've gone through specifically. And I met up with some of the moms, and it was helpful. But for me, I met with them a few times, and then it just felt like it's just a heavy rock on me. Like they're not moving on. And so for me, it was like, I have to deal with it differently. So we never judge anybody that's going through grief because everybody deals with it differently. And sometimes it's blaringly wrong. You can see it, but sometimes it's just everybody's different. And for me, I just knew these grief support groups were not for me. Like, we got to keep moving. And my dad was wonderful at always saying that, like, you got to keep going. You got to keep going, like.
And we knew that. I mean,
we knew that. But you need to hear it sometimes from the people you love. Like, hey, you're okay. You're okay, even when you're not okay. It's not okay. We are not okay, for sure.
Happy.
That is very true.
Yeah.
No, we did have an amazing support group. I mean, you can't take that lightly. We had people in our background. But I think at the end of the day, we had each other too. Yeah. And we had a great relationship. And we still have a great relationship.
Well, we work hard in our marriage.
We do.
Yeah, and God is the center of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And that's what keeps us. We have a small group just for young married people because we know how hard it is. And we just love it. We love marriage. That's a big piece of joy for us is our marriage. That's why I wanted him here, because I just feel like he's such a piece of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? By myself, I'm just
you're my
missing half, baby.
He's actually handcuffed to the couch.
Do I get enough of that sedative in your coffee?
Sure.
Okay.
No, I think that's so powerful. But so it sounds like the investment in each other was a huge part of this.
Yeah, I think so.
But to be, not to harp on this, but to be so young to go through such a profound loss so early in your marriage, it just sounds like a defining moment. Like you said, the trajectory completely changed after that.
Well, let me say the biggest gift I received. You've lost a child. You're not afraid anymore.
Yeah, I think that's right.
You've done the hardest thing.
Yeah. And
hit me again. Like, not to take it lightly, but you're like, that. We moved up here.
We were not afraid.
I started a nursery.
I got out of the medical field, went straight into landscaping and, obviously a huge amount of family support, but it was not a trajectory I wanted, but I'm like, whatever.
You get a thick skin whether you want it or not, kind of,
So use it.
Let's go.
Yeah. No kidding. So tell me about what it's like to be a parent of so many children and how you chose to create the family you did. And, and because I'm guessing I can feel it, that joy is such an element in your lives and through your family.
Oh my gosh. When I think of my kids, I just see joy. I see the words joy, and all of them climbing all over them. It's amazing, right? And it is not what we chose, which is the funny thing. Like we did to a point, but I always say God handpicked our family. So after we had JC, we had Asher and Caden. You met Asher right there. But then we had gotten into foster care before we ever had JC, and it was a disaster. We knew we were not ready for that yet, but we still had a heart for it. And
I think we would say we were never thinking we were doing it again ever.
Yeah, really? We did. But we went on a cruise, and we came home and we're like, oh my gosh, is this really all we have in our future? And now we love cruising. Just to let you know, we're going on one in November, so we love cruises. But we came home from that cruise and we're like, our lives are empty. Like is this really what we're signed up for? Just be cruisers. And so we did. We signed up again in foster care and with a couple of our friends that went alongside with us, and they did too. And it was a wild ride. And we would get a kid for a while, and we had our 3, and then they would go home or whatever. And that was always really hard. And I'd say, okay, you guys were taking a break. And then literally in a day, They were like, Mom, when are we getting another?
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was like an addiction.
Your children wanted
Yes,
it.
they loved it. And it changed them and grew them in ways I would have never been able to do on my own. Right? So amazing. We've had, in the 12 years we were licensed, we had over 45 kids come through our home.
45?
Yes. We adopted 6 of them. And
so glad you didn't adopt 45.
Us too.
And that's why I say our family was handpicked, because we always said, well, if they need a home and there's nowhere for them to go, we'll keep them. And that's how our first set of 3, somebody called me and gave me their names, and we started praying for them. We never met them, and just by chance, and 6 months go by, and I get a call from a caseworker for these 3, and I just laughed. I said, "Oh, yeah, but I know them, and they're probably ours." And they were. We adopted them.
Oh my gosh.
And then we adopted our Elijah, and he's our second child that died, and he was a totally normal 2-year-old. Came to our home. I potty trained him. He went back home. 3 years later, he got beat nearly to death. Couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't feed himself, completely 100% dependent at 5 years old. And we just knew he was ours. So we adopted him. And the joy that he brought in our family, even though it was really scary and really hard. But God, we said he was the touchstone of our family. And that's why I always tell my kids when they're mad, like, we literally we did choose you, but God handpicked our family. Like, he put us together. He put us together. And Elijah was the touchstone of our family for all those years, because he was so high needs and just constant care around the clock. And my kids just jumped on board and found joy in the hard stuff. Again, touched the hurt, right? I mean, he was a gaping wound and amazing. Sorry.
No, please don't apologize for that.
And we've spent so much time in children's hospitals. Like, go set up shop there for a day. I don't know if you've had to spend much time there, but
we've done that, for my niece.
Like, it's unbelievable that you realize how much better you have it, even in the worst, than a lot of people, right? And Elijah always made us realize that, and he was the happiest kid, and he had joy even in the state that he was in. We always said he spoke with his eyes, and he did. He was our world. And so in 2020, he died, and that was rough. That was another like, oh, here's the grief pit again. Why don't I just drowned in it? And I
can't believe you did that twice.
Yeah. But we learned so much from Elijah and rolling with the punches. And in the year that he died, talk about grief and joy side by side. So he died in 2020. My daughter graduated high school in 2020. I had to watch her go off to college. In 2021, my son got married. Had to watch him leave our home. We joke, he literally went from his bunk beds in my basement to being a married man. And so
that's crazy,
right? So much joy wrapped up around the little flame of grief that we carried with us. But the joy was just, so yeah, it was crazy. It still is crazy, but we just say whatever comes next, I know we can do it, and we're ready. Like this adventure, right? This is crazy and awesome and whatever.
How did your kids mention anything, or could you feel that they could understand what you went through with Cassie when they watched Elijah?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I'm curious if they got an insight into your strength and who you are as parents.
I think all 3 of our biologicals, we don't like to separate them, but it's just the facts. But our 3 biologicals really connected to that because I think they saw, they just saw depth in us. And I think that's a gift. And fearlessness.
I think they know that.
Yeah. And I think that was a gift that we probably gave them that we didn't actually own. Yeah, it was something that we was given to us going through that pain. And I think they could see we were fearless, but I also think they could see that, we had been through something. And I think they found a lot of, I don't know what the word is, but they found a lot of strength in that.
Yeah. I think
like they found strength, like saying our parents have been through it. They're pretty tough people.
They've seen you suffer.
Yeah. They knew that we suffered. And I think they also then, because of that, trusted us even more too, because they've done it.
Yeah.
And with Elijah, we made them such a part of the actual funeral too, right?
Yeah,
I mean, because they were such a part of his world. And so they took the process and got to speak at the funeral. My daughter played the piano and, just trying to make that, it's awful, but to be part of someone's death
Just celebrating
is
his
amazing,
life,
right?
yeah.
I mean, you guys know.
And as much as they were a part of his life.
Yeah.
So you modeled that to them, like, you belong.
Right,
in this.
you belong. This is yours.
Well, and in fairness, when we signed up for Elijah the second time, we knew that we were going to outlive him.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that, but in a really interesting way, we were tailor-made for it.
Yeah. And we had him for how many? 8 years?
Yeah, we had him for 8 years. And so we knew we were tailor-made to lose another child, which is a really crazy thing to say out loud.
Horrible thing to say.
But we knew how to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, you knew, you had the skill set, the emotional toning, I guess, to be able to.
Toolbox, right? Yeah.
Wow. How do you avoid, I mean, this is my perspective of what I would feel in receiving a child like Elijah into my home. How do you avoid anger and despair at how he arrived, to see kids who are, ripped from a normal
it's not fair.
life. How do you metabolize that without hating people?
I think a healthy amount of anger is normal. I would say that, we were angry for sure, because if you had seen him at 2 years old, he was beautiful. And, to see him arrive back on the scene, I mean, I really go to the time we went to see him at St. Mary's to say goodbye, because he was really in bad shape.
They called us and said he's not going to make it.
And then
they flew him to Children's.
Yeah.
Because he made it. And so then they flew him to Children's, hoping that maybe he'd make it a little longer. And we went over and we made quite a few visits to see him. And on one of our trips back, Jason looked at me and said, "What are you going to do when the social workers, when they call us to take him?" And I just laughed. I said, "They just told us he's going to live out his life in a nursing home. Like, he's not going to make it and he's going to be in a full-time care facility." And he goes, "I'm just telling you, they're going to call." And a week later, they called. And again, I just laughed. Like, yep, of course. We knew he was ours.
And I think that's God's economy and humor. I mean, I was totally medical-minded guy.
Yeah.
I did pharmacy. I did pharmacy, lab. I mean, just everything medical until Cassidy, and then I burned out. Like, we lived in a hospital for 4 months there, and I was like, I don't want to do this the rest of my life.
Really?
So that was, but when we had these medically fragile people in our lives, it was really easy to embrace the real. I mean, they're really intense. Elijah was intense. He would have seizures for over an hour sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hours.
Yeah. And so we'd have to, keep him breathing well and decide, are we going to the hospital again? I mean, we were really making big medical decisions for him, but we were equipped. Like, she was equipped.
Wanted to be or not.
Yeah, we were equipped to do it.
We went and got our CNA license and.
Yeah, just everything.
But to answer your question also, his biological grandparents came alongside us, and they were amazing.
Really?
And she would go to every single one of the abuser's court cases and, stand up against him. And I just felt like that piece of that puzzle was not mine to take on.
That's
like
good.
That anger, the hatred, I can't. I have this to deal with, and he's ours to deal with. And so I was able to separate that.
They were wonderful.
Like that.
We totally gained another family out of the whole thing.
Yeah, we did. We're going on a cruise with them.
Yeah, you are.
But that's a great
Second
answer.
one, actually, with them.
That's awesome.
That's really a good answer, because
Because you can only take on so much, but
they stood in that gap for us. And we didn't have to fight that
fight.
It,
and
that position was needed.
It was, because there's justice there that
needs to be.
But there's never going to be righteous justice because, you see this broken child, and he was broken.
Yeah.
That never goes away. But our job was to take care of him in his current state and not get caught up in that part of it.
And that's hard. It's hard to not take it all, but
totally.
He was so intense that that we drug him everywhere. I always say it was like Weekend at Bernie's, kind of. Only it was Elijah, and we took him to Lake Powell. We took him everywhere.
Yeah, we lived.
He was awesome.
Wow. Wow. It just leaves me speechless.
Yeah.
That you went through that. And it makes me think of the boundaries you had to cultivate to do, like to say yes to this, no to this. And
you know what it did? It made us way more intentional.
Yeah.
Because you have to be, right? You have to pick and choose what is going to steal from you, what's going to add joy to you.
Yeah.
And Elijah was so all-encompassing. We had to set boundaries. That's a good word. We did.
Yeah, he kind of
We
gave you
just
that
had to
gift.
be intentional. Yeah. Like when he finally passed, I was so lost because he was like my shield in a weird way, right? He gave me the boundaries I needed in my life to keep the world out, because I am kind of a
More
homebody.
sheltered, yeah.
I'm not super social. He's definitely more social. And Elijah gave me that comfort zone. And so when Elijah was gone, it was like, whew, I had, it was hard.
Was that,
it is hard.
Did it take some time for you to kind of reestablish your role?
Yeah, for sure, huh?
You know?
Oh, for you,
Yeah.
and I'm not speaking lightly, but Elijah was totally Carrie's life. I mean, really interesting thing. I mean, I was working very hard to provide for the family. I mean, when we got into foster care, my whole goal was, it's such a broken system in my opinion. Foster kids perpetuate foster kids. And our goal was, if these kids need a home, we want to see if we can't change that outcome.
Yeah.
Because, if you can the old starfish you throw back it made a difference to that one. I know it's such a big pond of broken lives out there in foster care, but our goal was let's find a few starfish we can change lives, because that's generational stuff.
Totally.
And so that's how I was looking at the foster care at that time. But Elijah was like God's gift to Carrie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just supported it as best as I could, because I could just see it gave her great purpose, which...
Even though I had like six to eight other kids running around. It was weird. It was just what we needed as a family, really.
Yeah. No, and I mean...
It structured us. It
just drew us in.
It just made everything more intense.
Yeah, and so I supported her, and of course I supported Elijah. I mean, I knew where my role was, but her, she was really amazing to watch in those years. I mean, yeah, you were.
Sweet.
I mean,
it's incredible. It makes me think of that phrase, like, I want to be a good ancestor, you know, like what you did was healing. Like you said, I mean, who knows how far these ripples go.
Yeah.
And I can feel,
yeah.
I'm so grateful for the work you've done.
Well, thank you.
You know?
And if we were doing it for us, we
Probably
were crazy.
worked, yeah.
We would have been totally crazy. Yeah. I mean, we just constantly found ourselves in spaces where if you are available and honest, God says, yeah, I'll use that. And that's what we were. We just kind of have our hands open and say, we're available. And we close our eyes because we know it's not like he's going to drop $1 million in your hands. He's going to drop an Elijah.
Waiting.
He's dropping an Elijah in your hands. He's dropping these things, but they're worth so much more.
Yeah.
But they're hard. In the midst of
really
it, it's
hard.
very hard. But we came out like better people.
Totally.
I mean, and we don't deserve it, but that's what the situation gave us was, we're, again, pretty fearless people.
No kidding.
Well, it strips you down, right? It strips you down.
Yeah. To the very
We
kernels.
are naked and afraid the whole time.
Let's not go there today, okay?
I can't believe I'm wearing clothes right now.
With the symbolic picture of that? Yeah, okay.
No, but I think
Don't even go there in your brains.
I'll pivot for you, Jason.
Right,
Got your back. But
Thank you.
But I think that's what I'm discovering. I mean, like we do things that we need. Maybe this is a selfish project where I'm like, I want to understand joy more. And what I'm hearing is that people who have such a strong connection with it also are super connected to what really matters to them. They can define what really matters. And I'm going to ask you, like, what really matters to you and what doesn't,
Yeah. Well, I know that after we lost Cassidy, we could definitely see a shift in what we decided mattered. And we didn't fight, did we? I mean, the young married squabbles that are so normal, we didn't really have many of them because we were like, does that even matter? What,
Totally.
what are you talking about? And even
I basically
still,
irritated you a lot, but
he just knows it, and we're okay with that now.
That is so true.
But it's true, huh? And even still, it's a constant trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to let into our lives that is going to steal from us, right? Because that joy can go down here if you're not being intentional. And I think that's the challenge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I think you're pegging it as the reality is you look into life to see what really matters. And relationships, at the end of the day, the relationships that you gain with real people are what matter. And that's a big source of real joy. I mean, again, Carrie kind of alluded to our young couples small group that we have on Sundays and nights. It's a lot of work for her. She does a dinner, I prepare a study, but we love affecting lives through our life because we've been given quite a testimony. I mean, I think
Clearly.
that's pretty obvious, but when we're able to speak into these young people's lives in a way that I think is real and powerful, we receive a lot of joy because they're like, whoa, we can do it.
Yeah.
Like the strength, the struggles we're having right now, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest joys we have is all of our children, of course, but as our adult children, and gain family, like half of our small group is our kids.
Oh my gosh.
And their spouses. And Sundays they come over for dinner and like I bribe them with food and I'm okay with that. They come, but they want to be here. Yeah. They're all going on the cruise with us.
Oh my gosh, who isn't on this cruise?
You want to go? Come on, sign up. Everybody's welcome.
It's a good time.
We call it the Joy Cruise.
I'm on it.
That's all you have to do to make maybe even a write-off. Who knows?
Now you're talking. Investors.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, what role do you think honesty and truth have in raising a family or cultivating joy or avoiding or not allowing things to steal from what matters to you?
We try to lie to the kids as often as
do
we
you?
can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's everything, don't you? Like truth with a capital T. Like you can be loving in truth, but I think anything other than that is so harmful and just creates a sewage system.
Well said.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in fact, I would say that in business for a while, she is really, she's been.
I'm not a people pleaser, Katie, so I don't struggle like you guys might.
I'm a total people pleaser.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm not very likable sometimes though. There's the catch, right?
That's actually
so
healthy.
I would say in business, if I would forget a meeting or, do something, it was really easy early on in my business to throw this little white lie out there. And I just realized it was so stupid. Carrie always called me on it. She's like, why? It's just, she was really good about calling that nature out. And when I finally grabbed a hold of that and I would tell a customer, I completely just forgot. Sorry. Do you still want to meet? It was really interesting to see how that truth would land on people. And it landed on such a way like, oh, well, thanks for being honest. Yeah, let's meet again. And I'm like, oh, that was so much easier. Now, I don't, when it comes to the big stuff in our lives, I wasn't a liar.
No,
I was never a liar.
No.
But
there
even
was the white lies, like in our family, I always want our kids to know I'm never going to lie to you, like never. So you can trust me. Yeah. You can trust me.
No, and that's it. And truth really is, for me, truth is everything because, the struggles that we've had with some of our kids is always surrounding a lie.
Yeah.
It's always surrounding a lie. And that's what robs you. It's like totally tears you down in your relationship because you're like, I want to have a real relationship with you, but I got to be able to believe you.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, the trust goes away. So truth really is at the bottom of the foundation, and then the stuff just starts crumbling apart when you don't have that truth foundation. I agree, it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like kids can absolutely tell when a lie is in the air? Like, I don't know, when our kids were young, I could tell that they could, not that we were lying, but with other people that would come in, they could like sense something being withheld or an inauthenticity.
Yeah, I think kids can tell, don't you? Yeah.
I feel like they're so good at that. Yeah. And then
they're very good, but I would also say we have some kids that are very good at lying.
Very good liars.
Yeah.
And that's
the benefit of having more kids, actually, because they call each other out harshly.
Really?
Yeah. And so now that we're down to just 3 in the house, we're like, wait a minute, I need a spy.
Where's my spy?
Yeah, you have enough kids in there, they can't get away with it.
No.
But no, I think you're right. I think kids have an amazing ability of sniffing them out. Mm-hmm. But I think they also have a pretty amazing, we have a couple of kids that we've had in our life that are just amazing liars too. And you're like, whoa, that was really impressive.
Right. Like, we believed you.
We believed you.
I applaud it. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So, no, truth is important.
Yeah. So what do you think our culture is doing in terms of joy right now? What do you think is happening, and what would you want to see happen?
This is a pretty easy answer for me. I always say the devil's in the air, and we're seeing him in the air. We're seeing him we're watching now people trade real relationships for devices.
He's in the details.
He's in the details, and he's in the air. I mean, the air is in the internet, and we're seeing that there can be, I think there's some real good that can come out of it, but I'm watching some of our younger kids come through really struggling with having real relationships because they have this fake thing in their hand.
Yeah.
And we've been kind of bad parents, just thinking naively like it's okay. And I mean, if we had to do it over, I think we would do it over a lot differently with especially phones and things that you just thought were innocent. But to me, I think that's where our culture is they're taking these young kids and even people away from real relationships and trading them in for a cheap device.
And making it okay, like they're normalizing that. Like, it's
everybody
fine.
has one.
Everybody has one.
Doing.
And I mean, you
don't
just
need real people in your life.
Social media is a total stealer. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing I've noticed. But I've also noticed that I told you earlier, I don't know if I was on air, that I find myself kind of staying in my lane too, like not plugging into people. And I think that's our biggest gift is relationships with people. And so, I mean, I think that's what the culture is unfortunately doing, is stealing the real stuff for the fake stuff.
Yeah. But again, like with your coworker, I'm just so grateful for your honesty, because I think that is an effect that we don't necessarily notice or name in ourselves, that when we're here, we're also here. Yeah. Like to your point, in the grocery store, not always noticing what's happening around us, just in any way with other people. Right. So I'm grateful you shared that.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to do.
But it takes time to have relationship and to notice people, right?
Yeah.
And the world will tell you don't have time. I mean, that's what we hear. There's no time. You've got so many things to do, right? I've got to get home.
I know. And like relationships are hard. Like you can't, like when you bring kids into your home, when you have kids, naturally or foster or whatever, you have no idea what's going to show up. You can't control the algorithm of what that person gives to you. So it feels like, what I'm noticing in you is that unpredictability and the openness and the blessing of challenging situations is a precious gem and priceless, but it's also hard. And I think what I'm hearing is that the culture sells us easy. Yeah. And therefore we're not seeing that the value really isn't in easy. Right.
That's a great word. I mean, I don't know what a weird addiction I have to coaching, but I've coached basketball now for about 25 years.
25 years.
In middle schools here in Montrose and then in Olathe. But that's what I'm seeing change in the 25 years is they want it easy. And when you're learning a skill, a sport, it's hard work. If you want to be good, you have to put in the time. You've got to put in the effort. That's been the biggest challenge for me coaching recently, is like, hey, you've got to work harder. It's a really strange thing. They don't even want that anymore. They just want the glamour from making a basket or looking like
the achievement
instead of really putting the hard work that would give them.
Yeah.
Actually, the gift that you get from sports is the hard work you put into it.
Totally.
So,
same with music. I could completely agree with you.
Same thing.
How do you, have you found ways to meet them in that and help them grow? Like, teach me your ways, Jason.
No, trust me. This last couple of years that's been the biggest challenge for me. And I keep talking to the kids about we've got to change the culture. So it's funny you bring up the word culture, but the culture and basketball's a game, but the game can teach you how to do life.
Absolutely.
Music can teach you how to do life. Absolutely. I mean, all of these things that we engage, if we work hard at it, it's going to help you endure and persevere and all those things that you get from it that you don't even know you get. But it's been very difficult getting them to grab a hold of that concept.
And less fun.
Because they want
There's
fun.
No joy.
They want fun, you know, we can go out before every game and say, hey, let's just go have fun. But fun comes when you put in the effort, the time, the hard work.
Do the hard things.
Right.
You know, like your symphony. I mean, if they don't put in the hard work and you sound horrible, that's not fun.
What's the point? Yeah.
It's not fun.
Totally.
Basketball's the same way. Like if we don't put in the hard work and, you know, work on the fundamentals, develop the skills, have the endurance, you get out there, it's not fun.
Totally. I know.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to teach that the process is fun. The work is fun, but it's not like...
It's not easy.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
How do you define fun, I guess, is the challenge here. I don't know. Any thoughts about culture and joy, Carrie?
I just think, again, you have to be so intentional in what... Like, we homeschool. And so one of the greatest joys I've found in homeschooling is that we can go towards whatever bent our kids have. And we can, like when we lived on our other place, the compound was, we call it, when my dad was still alive, I mean, our door, I joke because I'm a very private person and God just blew the doors off our house. He's like, no, you're not. And so the doors were just constantly, people were coming in and out. And I would always say, we're going to stop whatever we're doing and we're going to visit with the people that come in that door because that's what matters. And so we had to be intentional about it. And some days I was like, oh my gosh, we're never going to get school done. You always get it done. You do the hard things first. There's always room for the stuff that might not matter, but you still need to do. Right?
Yeah.
So totally. I think you have to know what you believe. You have to know what are you going to stand for, because the culture probably will go against that. And we say that a lot, huh? If the world says it's totally fine, you might want to rethink what you're doing.
Maybe do the opposite. Yeah.
Turn 180 degrees and you're going to find the truth in that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Why does the world do that?
I know.
I mean, do you guys have an answer?
The devil's in the details.
Why?
Right.
It's just, it's like, because when I talk to individuals, I have faith in life and goodness almost 100% of the time, but then the culture and the world, there's something so inhumane about it.
It is very
that it's, I'm like, but aren't these made of people? It's so confusing to me.
I don't know. It's very disheartening. And
and I mean, I think I really embrace the idea that love really does cover a multitude of sin. And the fact is, the hardest people I've ran into, if you'll take the time and just give them some real love, you'll see something change in them almost immediately.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have to, I identify the culture, but then I think we have to live counterculturally to find that joy that you're seeking and searching out here. If you're following culture's way, I don't know how you find joy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think joy is found being just about the opposite.
Yeah.
So if, I love asking people this question, say there is a person, watching this or in somebody's life of, a viewer or whatever, who is lonely or in a dark place or maybe swept up in the darker waters of our culture, what would you advise people to do? You know, either the person who feels alone or somebody who could help. Like in your experience with watering and feeding so many people who would have been lost, you know, and bringing them life with your love, like you've got some wisdom. What would you tell people to do to find a way out of whatever, grief or loneliness or despair?
I know. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is go help somebody else. Get out of yourself, right? Someone always has it worse than you do. And so that's why I always tell people, go spend an afternoon at Children's Hospital. Go talk to people in the nursing home. Those people have amazing stories.
Yeah.
Right? Just be with people that need help. And I don't have the answer, but I think that's
Really good answer.
To get out of yourself, right? Because you stay in your own little bubble. There's no good air in there, right?
Well, and I think that is, you have to define the problem, and the problem is, circumstances can cause the problem, but you're really the problem when you're in that darkness, and you have to say, I've got to get outside of myself. So I think the reality is, if you keep staying self-focused, I don't know how you get out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get out of it, and I don't think you can. And, you know, through our parenting years with so many kids, that's always the thing. When you're struggling with one of your kids, it almost always comes down to a self-focused situation. When I'm struggling and I look in the mirror, it's like, I'm really thinking pretty highly of myself at this point. And I have to, you know, you just got to get out of it. So I think that's a really good answer.
I do too.
So
I do too. Well, two more things.
Okay.
The first is I needed to say this to you because I think it just struck me so much talking to your mom about her parents and how, man, that grief is still right there. And how much she said, I wish I knew what my mom was like. I heard she was super nice and adventurous and she really loved my dad. And, you know, and then she tells me about how she views kids in her life and the first graders. And if they brought something to her, that's what they do in the classroom, just as you're describing with your homeschooling. And I am so struck by the privilege of, and I'm totally going to cry, of like watching her. You could call it a traumatic childhood for sure. For sure. It was for her. And what she gave to you.
Oh, unbelievable.
And what you're doing right now.
It's amazing.
In the span of a few weeks, for me to see that is like...
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's like full circle.
Yeah. And like she created what she wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That is the ultimate healing, I think. Yeah. You know, and you're doing it.
Oh, thank you.
And that she feels that joy that she craved when she comes here.
I love that.
She gets to receive it.
She's
you know?
such a funny, spunky little thing, isn't she?
I love your mom, but it's like, that is so beautiful.
She chooses joy. She chooses joy. Sometimes when I'm like, Mom, just go punch him in the face.
She's like, well, I have to think about it. And I'm like,
I know.
Are you?
I know. No.
It's incredible.
She chooses joy, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
So she's amazing.
Yeah, and her love is powerful, but it's a part of who you are, and it's super. It's just a privilege to have a fly on the wall view of what love can do.
Yeah, thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you for being a part of that cycle.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
I lucked out.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. And so I would say my last question is open-ended. Like, is there something that you want to share in this space that, this brought up for you, or questions for me?
I'm super thankful. And I think joy and gratitude go hand in hand. And I just think I am so thankful just for the life that I have and everything we've been through, and being able to meet people like you guys that care about joy. And it's rare. It is rare that you would pick that out and make a thing of it. And I think it's amazing. And I'm super thankful. I'm waiting for the book. I'm waiting.
Who's going to write it, Carrie?
I feel like you have a lot going on, and that's how you thrive.
I do,
right?
Yeah, it's a problem.
I'm married to one of those, so it's okay.
Well, I think I would probably conclude saying that you do have to go to the author and perfecter of joy, and I think that's God himself. And I say that because I think so many people spend a lot of time trying to cultivate something that they don't go to the source of. Yeah. And, that's been my source of joy, because sometimes it's just really getting outside of my own head and recognizing that, God's in charge. Again, I'll go back to the whole thing of once I grabbed a hold of God's sovereignty, like he's in charge, he knows best. It's easy for me to follow that. And we really have, probably just touching on some of the most incredible God journeys of our life. We could go into Lydia, we could go into so many different things that we had
we could do a series if you're
I'm up for it.
We had no
anytime.
control over. We just literally had open hands, and God gives you this great story, and it's a story that I couldn't have written. I'm not that creative. And he has, he's kind of the perfecter and author of our joy and our sorrow, and I don't think you can understand real joy without experiencing deep sorrow.
Yeah.
So, they go hand in hand. And I think the more sorrow you felt, the more joy you have capable of finding. And it's kind of like
and
the
pure
depths.
joy is pure energy, right? It really is. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
Well, I feel so grateful to be here with you
thank you.
We do too.
to sit and to receive your story, and I know I can feel it. It's intense for me, actually, like how important this might be for someone we don't know, but it doesn't matter because it's totally important for me.
Yeah.
And great. I'm so grateful.
Oh,
well, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah,
I think it's what a journey to seek something out like that.
It's exciting.
Well, you're such a part of this, so thank you for being a part of this and for being so open in everything you do. And then when you're done writing your book on parenting, I will complete the book on whatever this is.
We'll trade.
We'll trade.
You're the best. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Katie.
After the interview, Carrie shared her love of plants with me. She kept saying things like, just get in there, feel the dirt on your hands, and you can't hurt the plants if the soil is good, and this soil is good. What a perfect metaphor. For me, this interview is an exploration of how joy and loss intersect and impact one another. Right away, Carrie puts the joy paradox on the table. She says that she realized what joy was when she lost her daughter Cassidy when she was not even a year old. She references the psalm, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning." She says that if you can't touch the hurt, you can't experience the joy. And Carrie's grandma put it this way: when you lose someone, the hole in your heart never goes away. Your heart grows around it. And for Carrie and Jason, the things that grow around that hole are more beautiful and intense than they could have ever imagined. Jason came to believe that they couldn't allow their lives to be defined by one moment or even the loss of one child. They had to let go of that identification, and when they did, abundance came. Their loss is a gift that allows them to connect to other people and each other in a deeply spiritual way. And Jason blew me away with this statement. He says that the biggest gift that he received is that once you have lost a child, you're not afraid. You can do anything. And they did everything. They fostered 45 kids. They adopted 6 others, including Elijah, whose physical injuries from domestic abuse would require round-the-clock care and sacrifice, and ultimately facing his death. And I just keep feeling into the fact that Carrie chose to fully love another child whom she knew would die. She willingly, openly allowed that experience into her heart again. And she knew how to keep the gifts of gratitude and joy close so that she could stay afloat during her grief. It was worth it. because, as Jason said, they were tailor-made to lose another child. They knew how to meet that loss together. Carrie says that Elijah helped them become more intentional. They learned how to ask, what's going to steal from us and what's going to add joy? And I'm thinking that this could be a new mantra for me. And I want to point out to myself that they aren't asking, what is going to make me happy? Adding joy does not mean adding easy, convenient things. If joy is a container, Carrie and Jason seem to be keenly aware of what fits inside. It's things that create love, that align with openness, honesty, and an offering of their hearts. When Carrie says, we are naked and afraid, it feels like the perfect and totally hilarious analogy. They are stripped down to the essentials of life. They face the next totally unpredictable thing with a vulnerability that comes right out of the heart. I also keep thinking about Carrie's statement that anything other than truth with a capital T creates a sewage system. This is a powerful idea, and it warrants reflection because I think she's also talking about the truths we tell ourselves as much as the truths we tell each other. As an example, in their lives, facing the very pain of real loss is facing and accepting the truth of that loss. And in doing so, there's no sewage created. Jason and Carrie's children get to see their strength and their fearlessness, learn from it, and discover their own. Their kids receive this gift because it was presented in truth. Carrie and Jason tell me that one way to step out of loneliness and despair is to find someone to help, to step outside of the stagnant air of self-focus. And I feel like this is exactly how they have found joy, not through pleasing people, not through giving up who they are, but through intentional, truthful, loving relationship building and meaningful, spiritual, purposeful responsibility. I think this is how they discovered their joy. And I think it's also how they discovered who they really are. Carrie says that pure joy is pure energy, and it must be true. If two people who could have been crushed by the pain of life are yet able to nurture their children with such abundance from that joy. After we played in the dirt, Carrie sent me home with a pathos ivy, the perfect plant given our conversation, because the pathos ivy represents resilience. They're known for their rapid growth, the ability to thrive in all kinds of conditions, and they are nearly impossible to kill. And that, right there, is the perfect mic drop. Hey, hope you enjoyed today's discussion. I ask each guest to share a song that brings them joy. See the show notes below for a song from today's guest. For more music, you can also find a link to the Joyful Forklift Spotify playlist. Help us continue to spread joy by subscribing to or following the channel. To sign up for our newsletter and to learn more about us, visit joyfulforklift.com.